Hello and welcome to episode of the Hodwatt podcast.
You really yelled that one, didn't you? Yes, we're back, and it's a very special Christmas Day episode, because we had a bit of downtime in the old Christmas Day, so we've got an hour.
And there's fuck all to do before we start opening presents, so we thought we'd do a podcast.
Still got to wait for some fam to get here, so here we are. We're back. So, when was the last time we did a podcast? It's been ages.
Nearly a year, I would have thought.
A year?
Nearly.
I didn't know it was a year. Surely not. I reckon we at least did one midway through this year.
Probably.
While you were here at our place. So right now we're down in
I think we did one near the start of the year.
Yeah, well, I'll check that right now. Well, we are back down into the sunny southwest of Victoria, down in my God's country for Christmas, and yeah. So here we are. It's Christmas Day. Where are we? Hodwatt. I'm gonna see. I gotta see when the last time we uploaded was. Because 5 months ago. Not even the start of the year. Maybe 6 months ago. About maybe, what is it, December now? Maybe August we did it. So the end of winter. We're now in the dead of summer. So
very hot.
And we're getting this done before it gets very hot, because it will get very hot in this room. And I do not fancy, for one, being in this room when it's stinking hot for an hour talking shit, and two, just having the fan on in the background. It'll be a very unpleasant listening experience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Christmas. We haven't got gifts yet.
No.
Unfortunately. You know what some of your gifts are, I know that. But no spoilers.
Yeah.
So, what do we got on this? Christmas films. Have you been watching any? I sure as shit, as usual in this fucking pod. Yeah, of course, in this podcast, I never do any research or do anything for it. I come up with no content. I'm a piece of shit. I just leave it all to you. But yeah, so Christmas films. I remember you telling me about a couple. So
yes, I recently watched 2 Christmas films. One I had seen before, a long time ago. But this other one I hadn't seen. They both have very similar names. One is called Silent Night, Bloody Night, and it's a public domain film you can find on YouTube. It's pretty good. And there's another one that isn't public domain called Silent Night, Deadly Night. Because Bloody Night was public domain, they could sort of take the title and...
Yeah, right, so no copyright issues there. Were they both made at the same time, or...?
No. Bloody Night was made in 1972 and Deadly Night was made in 1984. So I'll talk about Deadly Night first, I think. So Deadly Night it's a very sleazy film.
Sleazy?
Yeah.
Was Deadly Night the one made in the 70s or the 80s?
80s.
80s. Alright, makes sense.
It's about a guy who dresses up as Santa Claus and goes around killing people.
Oh. Right. I mean, premise for any Christmas horror film above, have you heard of it? So sleazy, how's it sleazy?
Oh, it's very politically incorrect.
Oh, right. I mean,
so basically you're following this main character who becomes a killer.
Who's the main character?
Yeah.
What's his name? I said, who's the main character? Yeah. No, who's the main? So the main character.
Main character, his name is Billy, and at the start of the movie he's a little kid. And he watches his mum get sexually assaulted by a man dressed as Santa.
Right. That's a bit grim.
By a man dressed as Santa, no less.
Yes. On Christmas?
I think it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
This guy killed...
The guys just thought, fuck it, I'll dress up as Santa in the middle of fall, just in October.
And basically this guy dressed as Santa kills both his mum and dad. And
So he's left orphaned.
Yeah, he gets sent to an orphanage where there's this evil nun called Mother Superior.
Mother Superior.
Who's who's very strict and abusive.
Yes. As a Mother Superior would be. Not shitting on the Catholic Church or the Sisters of Christ. They do well, but yeah. Anyway, where were we? So Mother Superior was an abusive
Catholic nun.
Yes. So.
And then eventually this little kid grows up and then he dresses up as Santa.
So yeah, he goes on to commit the crime that he was once a victim of.
Yeah.
So that's Silent Night,
Deadly Night.
Deadly Night, the 1980s
1980.
Christmas horror film. And so
And Silent Night, Bloody Night doesn't really have anything to do with Christmas apart from it being set on Christmas.
Yeah. So what, does it just sort of feel like an afterthought that it's on
Like,
Christmas?
you could take away the the Christmas part and it probably wouldn't be recognised as a Christmas film.
Just a horror film outright.
Doesn't even need to be set on Christmas.
So Silent Night, Bloody
Night.
So
Very old film, very low budget.
So who do we follow in that? The
It's
protagonist.
very, very convoluted plot.
Oh right, so
Sort of
something you got to see yourself.
Yeah. A killer escapes from a mental asylum and returns to the house where he lived and kills all these people.
Now, forgive me, but it sounds a lot like Halloween. Did Halloween come before this or after?
Halloween came after.
After.
People.
Right. That's interesting. Because to me, I see the parallel there. You know, one person on a holiday comes back from a mental asylum to go and kill people. Goes back to his own house.
Well, it is a very it has been used a lot in a lot of movies.
I suppose it's a bit of a trope, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe. Oh, forgive me. I got a fucking bitch of a cough right now. God. So Silent Night, Bloody Night. He just gets out of the asylum, goes home, and fucks shit up. Is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, Silent Night, Bloody Night was the one in 1980.
1972, I think.
Yeah. Silent Night. I'll edit this in so it's at the Silent Night, Bloody Night bit. So it's.
I've got the entire movie downloaded on my laptop.
And that's not illegal. Oh no, it's on YouTube. Yeah, the full movie, an hour and 25.
Well, seeing as it's public domain, well,
yeah, you can't. There's not much to get in trouble for.
It actually has the copyright symbol on it, but it was never actually tested.
Never, filed.
Yeah, never filed. So.
All right, let's go back to the start of this bad boy. Of course, it starts. Wait for it to load. They're probably going to hear all the family and shit outside there talking smack.
Well, probably won't be able to understand what they're saying.
Yeah. Oh well, it's nice ambience. Makes it feel like Christmas.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was left living.
Big play on words there. I mean, yeah, good on. And it's got the old classic sort of 70s voiceover from the era.
You don't see the voiceover in trailers
and
anymore.
the voiceover like that, because I remember Halloween's got it.
Yeah.
Halloween. They've got that voiceover. Friday the 13th, does that got it? I reckon that does. It's got the
I think so.
the creepy old. They always get some seedy old bloke to do it, don't they? Alright, let's go back a couple seconds and we'll continue.
Not a creature was left living.
His hands. Somebody cut off his hands.
Is that the murderer there?
What?
Is this the one with Billy in it? No.
No.
Or is
Black-
that, no,
Black-
that's
Black
Black
Christmas.
Christmas. Jesus Christ. The place is all over the head. Yeah.
Silent Night, Bloody Night, starring Patrick O'Neill and Astrid Heron.
Is that in the movie, that bit?
What bit?
This shot? Because I feel like back in the day, they used in trailers, they'd have starring this person and this person, and they'd get separate shots of the two people together or something like
I
that.
think that shot's in the movie.
Yeah, it looks like starring this person and this person. I can't remember.
The movie actually has a few different names. When it was released, it was called Night of the full moon or something like that.
No, right.
And
Is this
in the version I've got, it's actually called Death House. Exact same movie, just but with a different title.
this is the one where the fact that it's Christmas isn't really a main part of it. And we'll have a link down to this so you can actually watch it along with us, I suppose.
Butler wasn't kidding. Nobody's lived here for years.
Don't laugh at me. I want your ID. Some maniac escaped from Margaretville.
Not the best acting in the world.
Oh,
Would you like to drive there? Also starring John Carradine. Was the night before Christmas. And all through the house, not a creature was left living.
Jesus.
There's some pretty brutal scenes in the movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of it there.
Like that scene you saw before with them in bed.
When
The
they
axe comes down and really, I think the,
excuse me.
MPAA, that's the
Yeah.
Motion Picture Association of America, had a bit of a problem with the excessive violence back in the time.
Yeah. Oh, well, makes a lot of sense. Black Christmas. So Black Christmas is another.
Black Christmas is another movie.
I know. Yes, it is. So Black Christmas is another Christmas horror film.
Yeah.
So what year was that made? I haven't seen any of these films, by the way. So
Black Christmas was made in 1974.
74. And who do we follow in that? I know there's a character called Billy,
Yes, Billy, the killer.
the killer. So
You never find out who he is or why he does it. He's just
is he ever on screen?
You never see his face.
Oh.
And his
That's a good way.
and his
Fear of the unknown. That's
Yeah.
what makes a good horror movie, I reckon.
backstory is kept a mystery.
Yeah. So.
But you find out from his dialogue that he probably had a sister named Agnes, and something happened to her.
But it's never.
That's what I like about it. Like you can sort of piece together his backstory, but it's never explicitly
Yeah,
explained to you.
Yeah. It's always remaining to be seen. So how's the plot of that film go?
So it's set in a sorority house
Yeah.
somewhere in Canada
On Christmas.
on Christmas, and the girls who stay there start getting picked off one by one by this
Billy.
mysterious killer named Billy,
Mm-hmm.
who breaks into the house, sneaks into the house through the attic.
Does he win?
He does, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's a spoiler.
Ah,
Yeah,
well,
so-
who cares? It's just. Yeah, I don't care. Fuck it. So he gets them all in the end, or does he get away?
Yeah.
Does the virgin
There-
survive?
there's this prime suspect throughout the whole movie named
Yep.
Peter, but it turns out it's not him.
Yeah. Does he get killed?
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. So. Yeah. So Peter's supposed to be a bit of a red herring. Obviously. Yeah. Black Christmas. Is there any other horror Christmas films that you've seen?
There's lots.
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
there's obviously lots, but
I
I haven't seen any. What I have been watching, I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off the other.
Yes, it
Yeah, like-
holds up, doesn't it?
Oh, I did. I watched it because I was at the pub and a friend of mine said he watched it and he said it doesn't hold up. It's like, I reckon that's a filthy lie, Mr. Sean. So
I think Ferris Bueller's Day Off is ahead of its time.
no, I reckon it's just I reckon it's hands down just one of the greatest teen films of all time. Because it's just the way the comedy is just real sort of cheeky humor. I fucking love that. Like the scene when he's on the phone to the freshman in the hallway and he's sitting there, he sticks the floppy disk into his synthesizer and just, excuse me. It just fucking gets me.
I love that scene where his dad gets into the taxi.
Yeah,
And they sneak into the taxi.
Yeah.
And the taxi drives away and another one
Yeah.
comes.
it's not noticed one bit. Where he pretends to be that big like sausage baron guy at that club. He goes,
Abe Froman.
I watched The Breakfast Club. Right. Breakfast Club. Another 80s, I don't know what year, 1980s something. 80s film about another sort of teen film like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I've heard a lot about it, and I mean it's a bit of a cult hit. It's a fantastic film. Be surprised if whoever's listening right now hasn't seen it. I don't think you've seen it, but
No, I haven't.
highly recommend. It's follows how many 2 girls, 3 boys who are in detention on a Saturday, and they're there for 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, they're there. They're also like from different groups of people, and then the movie follows them. They grow as people, become friends and shit like that. Sounds a bit corny to start with, but it's good. There's like a delinquent, like something about there's like criminal. Read the description; it'll give you the perfect, like on Netflix and stuff. It's got a perfect description of it. But yeah, and I'll tell you what. There's a character who's like the dean of students. It's just like what's his name, Rooney. He's just like Rooney, like. They're almost, like, I dare say they're carbon copy characters, but I suppose that's just a
When was
product.
Breakfast Club made?
It was made in the 80s. It wasn't, I reckon it wasn't long before or after. Let's find out. I'm not going to. We're known for hard-hitting and accurate reporting on this podcast. I don't want to tarnish that reputation. So, the Breakfast Club.
We used to have a Breakfast Club at our school, as I was telling Josh.
Not the Breakfast Club. You had a Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Like, you'd go to school and you have brekkie in the morning or
Yeah,
something?
I never went to it. Basically, it was for kids who were too lazy to have breakfast at home.
Oh yeah, or their parents wouldn't cook for them or some shit. Like yeah, you know,
People
people.
whacked out on fucking cocaine.
Yeah, people in disadvantaged situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic initiative, if you ask me. So Breakfast Club and
Or if you just wanted to have some extra breakfast, you could have gone there.
yeah, exactly. I reckon I remember. I remember when I was in kindergarten, they had Breakfast Club at the primary school, Cavendish, and I reckon I went there once or twice. So, I just wrote Ferris Bueller. I've got the fucking character thing up. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off was made in 86.
86, and the Breakfast Club was in 85.
So it predates it.
It does. 2 very good films. You're ever going on a bit of a binge on the old 80s teen film? Comedy drama sort of shit. It's good. I'm ashamed to say it. I've never seen any of the Back to the Futures, so they're on my list.
I've seen the first Back to the Future,
How many is there? Like 3? Or
and I've seen some of the second one, but I never finished it.
yeah. Every time I say that to someone, they just go, "What?" They nearly get a cross out and nail me to it when they hear I haven't seen any of the Back to the Futures. But yeah, I reckon I feel like I'm really selling myself short by not watching at least the first one, I think.
I remember I had a teacher who was mortified that I didn't like Star Wars.
Oh, well. Oh, hit the corner!
Oh, God, I was waiting for that.
Alright, just a bit of context on that. We've got a screensaver on my computer. It's the DVD, screensaver that you have on your DVD players back in
I
the
was
day.
just anticipating it.
Oh.
It felt so good.
That was fantastic, and we've got it on my computer. And as we've been talking, the 2 of us have been sitting there watching this, and no shit, it just hit the corner perfect. It was it's amazing. That was. We can't peak now. We may as well end the podcast now. We can't beat that. I mean, perfect for a podcast. We've got a visual, something that you need to look at, and we're just sitting there just fucking talking about that.
Yeah.
We're very good at podcasting. We're very professional. We're very good at what we do. Don't ever tell me otherwise. Where were we? Back to the Future. Yeah, your teacher. Which teacher? Your music or whatever?
My maths teacher.
Maths teacher.
We watched it at school.
You watched Star Wars at school?
Wait. Oh, Star Wars.
Why?
I was thinking about Back to the Future.
Oh. Well, even Back to the Future. We never get to watch good movies like that. We used to watch fucking...
Because my maths teacher was obsessed with Back to the Future. It's his
Yeah.
favourite movie.
Yeah, fuck, that's lucky. I remember I went to a Catholic school and all we'd fucking watch is like The Prince of Egypt. I mean, pretty good film, but we'd just watch movies like that. Never... I was like Back to the Future and shit. But yeah, your teacher was mortified that you didn't like Star Wars. I
It was
mean,
another teacher.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I love Star Wars. I reckon it's the best thing since sliced bread. Not a fan of the sequel trilogy, I'm sorry. Or what's out so far. But I can see why people wouldn't like it. It seems like a very... As widespread and popular it is, I feel like it can be quite a niche sort of a... thing to enjoy. It's very nerdy. People say, oh yeah, Star Trek's also good, but as a Star Wars fan, I can't fucking understand the pull of Star Trek one bit.
Yeah,
There's a
Star Wars, just all that space stuff.
Yeah. I've never really seen you as a sci-fi sort of a movie. Except for Alien. You liked Alien.
Yeah,
right?
Alien's a good movie. And Aliens, second one.
Have you seen the third one?
Yes, pretty bad. Pretty crap.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it? Alien Revelation or some shit?
No, there's Alien 3,
Resurrection.
then there's Alien Resurrection.
Yeah,
I've got the
Yeah, you've got the trilogy sort of a set.
I've got the trilogy set, or quadrilogy set, because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched Resurrection yet, and I'm not
not too keen on it.
No.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about that one either. But I've seen like half of the first one. I need to sit down and watch just Alien on its own. There's a lot of movies I sit down and watch, obviously. But yeah. Have you seen the new one? Covenant?
No.
I've seen Prometheus.
I've heard mixed reviews about Covenant.
Yeah, so have I. Seems a bit, yeah. But I have seen Prometheus.
I haven't seen Prometheus.
It's not too bad. It's the prequel to, or it's the first film in that new sort of an era. Alright, so what else have we got on the list? So something that has come out since the last podcast. Something has come out and has taken the video game industry and just gaming pretty by storm. The old
A lot of you.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has come out.
Yes, and it.
First
I think it's-
impressions after you've played it. How you're on your third playthrough now.
Yes, I'm playing it a third time.
So
I think it's safe to say it surpassed expectations.
for you,
Yes.
yeah, better than the first one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better. In some ways, no, but in many ways, yes.
So where do we start?
Oh, there's so much there.
I reckon like the writing itself, I reckon is one of the best like written stories in video games. I reckon. Like it doesn't feel like a very video gamey story. You know how sometimes stories in video games can feel very, just sort of.
No.
Yeah. Like over the top.
I think the plot is modelled a lot from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
So explain that.
So
Please.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a Western movie about a group of train robbers who are like a family.
Which we're not really spoiling much. The film.
And I think
The game basically starts with a train robbery. Like it's in the first chapter, and that sort of sets things in motion. But yeah, the way
when I started playing it, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I think I was a bit overwhelmed by
how different it was.
yeah.
Well, not really different. It was just
There's all this
they've changed up
You
a lot
know,
of the mechanics,
yeah.
like the stamina and all that.
dress warmly in cold weather.
Yeah. Added a lot of layers, like eat to get restore your cores. I didn't figure out how the cores worked for ages.
You must bond with your horse.
Yeah. You're right, boy. I got into the habit of just doing that because I wanted my horse to be real. Like, I want to have a good bond with it. So I got in the habit of just, every 5 minutes, just... Because, you see, like, snakes and shit, and the horse shits itself, and you just go, you're right, boy. So I just got in there, every 5 minutes as I'm playing, you just hear, you're right, boy. Just shit like that. Which is, plagues my thoughts now. Oh, it's
there
done
it
it
is.
again. Gee, that's twice.
You think after we explained it, the listeners understand what it is?
Yeah, I mean, unless you were born after 2000, if you're born maybe 2005 after, you won't understand. I reckon. But Jesus, that's twice in one sitting. I can't believe that. Oh, no.
Oh, very close.
Yeah. And yeah, the cores system, I didn't figure out. Like how, sometimes I'd sit there and like, why the fuck is my aiming so all over the place?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't figure out why, and then I sort of looked and like, oh, so my Deadeye core, and Deadeye would like work like shit. I'm like, why the fuck? And then
Sometimes it does wobble around even when it's full though.
Oh yeah, like and then I looked.
Usually when you're on horseback.
Yeah, my core was fucked. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna eat or do whatever. Yeah, it's just. I don't know.
But the greatest mission of them all is the mission with Lenny where you go get drunk at the saloon. That is a fantastic mission.
It
Best
is a
mission
good,
in the game.
It's a good little mission, and it's that classic sort of Rockstar, light-hearted bit, and that's good. It's, to me, you know, like Rockstar games, fucking like GTA 5 and San Andreas, not like just the GTA games. The satire in those games are they're not subtle. They're very in your face sort of a humor, which I don't mind, but once you play it after a while, it gets repetitive. But I like the humor in Red Dead feels a lot more subtle and natural.
Yeah.
Like that mission, it was just it was like there had been a lot going on. I'm pretty sure they'd just belted something, like something had gone down, and then you get to go to the pub with Lenny, and you get to enjoy a night on the piss with Lenny. It's very funny. But in like my serious opinion, I reckon the best mission in
The Braithwaite.
obviously now
Braithwaite Assault.
Yeah.
You like that one?
I mean, obviously there's spoilers. The game's been out for a few months now. I don't fucking care about spoilers. It's up to, I know. It's a finicky thing, but still. Spoilers, obviously. I should have prefaced it. But the Braithwaite Manor Assault, I adore that mission. I thought it was fantastic. Just that the soundtrack makes it for me, though.
I like that mission where you have that massive bar fight and you fight
you
that
fight
big
that-
burly guy.
Yeah. I nearly lost that fight when I first did it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Even the third time I'm playing, I still get very close to
Yeah,
death.
he nearly whooped my fucking ass. Or maybe it's supposed to whoop you. But getting back to the Braithwaite, no. I noticed that, like, I don't know if it's actually, but you know the film Django Unchained.
Yeah.
You know the house in that,
Oh yeah.
and the way it's modelled, like the tree lines. I reckon.
Yeah, I think.
I have no idea if this is. I haven't seen Django in a long time, but I feel like that. Oh no, I didn't do it. We bounced a bit.
Rockstar does that a lot in games.
Yeah, pay homage to some films that. They
Like
enjoy.
in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the mansion, Tommy Vercetti's mansion, is modelled after the mansion in Scarface.
Yeah. And what's the final achievement when you finish the campaign? It's like to live and to die in LS, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Named
Which
after
is
To Live and Die in LA.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen, but I know about it.
Yeah, and it's one of the heists is based on that, isn't it?
I
The
think
one
so.
where they smash the they use the
Like I said, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but you're probably right.
I think the mission where they use the rubbish truck to smash the, you know what I mean. Either way, we got off track there quite a bit. Where were we? Rockstar, making references to films and shit. So I reckon that the Braithwaite Manor is based heavily off of the house in Django Unchained,
Yes.
the one that Leo lives in. Alright, this is big spoilers. If you actually give a shit, just skip like at least maybe 10 minutes into the future. I might even have a timestamp in the description if I'm feeling nice. It's gonna be very loud on the audio. Everyone's gonna hear that that creaking. So big spoilers now. Fucking click off now if you really don't want to spoil the end of the game. So, thoughts on the epilogue?
The epilogue?
When you
mean after Arthur dies?
after Arthur dies and you
I think the epilogue goes on a little bit too long.
Too long, you reckon?
Yeah. There were some nice missions. Like I like that mission where you build the house.
Yeah, that's nice. I loved seeing how Beach's Hope came around, like from that little hut. And bloody Uncle's lumbago. Lumbago, the whole joke behind that is just lumbago is a technical jargon term for back pain.
So that's what it is. I wasn't
I got lumbago, it's deadly. No, he's just got back pain. But I liked playing as John for the epilogue, but I just feel like once you finish the epilogue, I feel like the game, like aside from all the legendary animals and all that, I just feel like, I know there's side missions and shit, but it just feels like it's done. I feel like the game is done. I feel like I can't live in the
That's
world.
a problem that a lot of games have. Huh?
Yeah, the end game feels a bit. Oh, it did it again.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, that was perfect. This is 3 times. This is amazing. They do have a lot of problems. Don't
I
they?
love finding those points of interest. You know where you fill out your journal.
Yeah, the compendium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only did that once, just before you go to the swamp. There's like a big ruin, like
Yeah.
Civil War.
And I love how John Marston's artwork and
Arthur's.
Arthur's are completely different.
Yeah, Arthur's quite a good drawing.
John just
He's
scribbles.
good drawing. He's a good drawer. John ain't that bad, but
He needs a bit more practice.
he does. So where does the game? So yeah, at the end it feels a bit but that's just it feels a bit empty after you finish the epilogue. But I reckon where the game sort of goes off the rails is when it goes to fucking Guam. Is it Guam or Guam?
Yeah.
Guam. It felt very sort of shoehorned in. I don't know.
Yeah. What I did like is that there's some unique animals on Guam that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did
So
like.
if you don't fill them out in your compendium, once you're there, then I don't think you'll ever find them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a good environment. It's really fun to play through, especially like it just feels like a sort of a mini campaign just through. Like I remember when I was playing it the first time. Like they'd gone off to Guam. They got to Guam, and I just felt like fuck. I just want to get back to the West. I just want to go back to the West and continue the main story because it just felt like we were going through the main story, and then all of a sudden we're here, and there's this little side plot now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Just it felt a bit shoehorned in for me.
I think
No, I'm not saying it's bad. It just felt weirdly out of place for me.
to make it less shoehorned in, and they could have made it a bit longer, and it wouldn't have felt so.
Yeah, and had more like genuine tie into the main story aside from the fact you've got to do this for these rebels so you can get back to America.
And it's not really developed.
That was the only investment I really had into it. I'm doing this so I can get back home. Like I mean, what else could you do to make it more compelling? I don't know, but I know there's some smart people at Rockstar that could have, but I mean takes away very little from a fantastic game if you ask me. But yeah, I mean going to Mexico.
But after you return from Guam and that music starts playing, may I stand unshaken.
That's fun. The music in this game is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
They've got a track for fucking everything in this game. I reckon every mission at least has a unique composition.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. I was gonna say something. I've forgotten now. No, lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. The part where you go to Mexico in the first game.
Yeah.
And you go through and you help all the Mexicans in their little uprising. I feel like that felt a lot more natural in the first Red Dead.
But a lot of people complain that it went on too long, and
yeah. But I didn't feel like it took away from the main story too much.
yeah.
That's where it's a weird. Like I reckon if you got the shortness of the Guama and the Mexican, I don't know if it's Guam or Guama. It's really chewing me up inside now that I don't know.
I have a feeling that the Guam chapter was a little bit of a joke on Rockstar's part.
Yeah, I think.
Sort of like a response to how people thought that the Mexico chapter went on too long.
Yeah, went on too long, so we'll make this short as fucking. I just feel like there could have been a better way for them to involve it, but oh well. What else do we have? Red Dead 2. I've been playing it. I don't know if I said this first time, but I've been playing a little bit of Marvel's Spider-Man. I know you don't give a shit about comic books and superheroes, but that's a really fun game. But I've played through the main story and the City That Never Sleeps DLC, and real good, recommend it. I won't get into too much because I know you've got nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
What else? I had this on the list. It was not. Before you even decide to get into our lifeline, Movie Chat.
Moviechat.org.
I'm never on Movie Chat. Let me just preface this by saying I'm never on Movie Chat. I don't reckon I've visited the site once to have a look after we call him a friend, Delicious Feet.
Oh yeah.
After our friend, he gave us a big shout out, and that's.
You made a YouTube video about us, and
Yeah.
That's the first time anyone has ever done that. So.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. When you sent me, alright, so you sent me a message saying, "Are you aware of this?" And it said, "Hodwatt, y'all." I'm like, oh no, what have we ruffled someone's feathers here? Is someone gonna just actually lambast us? Because the way you said it, like, "Are you aware of this?" I'm like, oh fuck, what's happened? What's happened? And I watched the video, and yeah, he's real supportive of us, isn't it? It's a real shout out. I don't know what his real name is. I just know it's Delicious Feet. You see him a bit on Movie Chat, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, is he a moderator or something over there?
No, he's just a member.
Just another user. Yeah. Oh, it did it again. That's 4 times.
I think it's a cycle.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, yeah. Actually, don't ruin it. Yeah. So Movie Chat, Delicious Feet. He made a video. I haven't seen it in ages. It's a while since he actually did it. Maybe a couple of months.
I actually downloaded the video and I have it on the computer at home.
Just in case he ever takes it down.
Yeah.
Which, please don't. We appreciate the exposure, you know. Hodwatt Yarl by Delicious Feet. 5 months ago. Yeah, big shout out. Thank you.
I'd also like to mention some of the others over at Movie Chat. Shogun of Yonkers. Movie Man Sin 2. Josh has no idea who these people are.
I have no idea who any of these... What was it going to do again? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Who else is there? How Knows?
I think these people that you sort of know, you see on Movie Chat quite a bit. Or,
yes.
Yep.
Who else is there?
You better remember...
If you don't hear your name, don't be too offended.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of
You better remember these. I'd be offended if I was one of them and you didn't read their name out. Yeah, but... Yeah. I remember I commented on the video and he told me to get my ass over to Movie Chat. So, yeah, I might eventually. I just feel like I don't watch enough movies. Like, yeah, I'm too lazy. I don't do enough, evidently. Because we are a professional podcast and we do all our research on time and promptly. Huge shout out to Delicious Feet. From that video and a few other videos of his, it seems like a real nice guy. So, And he's right. Look, we just do it. We're just doing it for the sake of doing it, and we enjoy it.
Yes.
Like, I think he said something like, the numbers that we get are not, like, we're not deserving of the numbers that we get. We should get more. Which I took that to heart. And I thought, oh, jeez, that's like, yeah, it's a real nice thing to say. And it came out of nowhere. Did you have any idea he was gonna?
Yes.
He told you, did he?
It all started with a post he made about asking people to explain their username.
Oh.
And I got to explaining mine, say, oh yeah, we have a YouTube channel, we make movies, and I showed him a link to The Mandela Effect,
yes.
Our latest movie.
And what did he say?
Then we talked a bit more on the site, and then he said he was going to make a YouTube video, which he did.
And here we are. And I reckon he bumped us up a bit, I reckon. It was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool, Delicious Feet. Thank you. So yeah, that's the Movie Chat. I had this one idea, like, if we sort of started getting to the end of the podcast, me yesterday, we'd go on to AMA on Reddit, the subreddit, where people, they post their situations and they say, hey, ask me anything. I don't know if this would be funny or not. I don't know if it might be completely boring. But I had an idea that we'd go on, find some AMAs, and instead of reading the answers of the actual people, we answer them, you know. So, here we go. Here's one. Maybe not. I don't think
Was that a person?
I don't think we can riff on someone who survived a flesh-eating bacteria. I don't think we can riff on that. That might be a bit, rude.
Yeah.
It's Christmas Eve, and I'm a parish pastor. Not the food, just I'm a parish pastor. Ask me anything. So a parish pastor is like a priest. Does your church do a Christmas pageant? Do you use a real baby for the role of Jesus?
No, we
I
use the
haven't-
actual Jesus.
Oh, from the real one. I've never seen a Christmas pageant before.
We
I-
resurrect Jesus from the dead and we use him.
Hey, he's already resurrected. He resurrected ages ago on Easter, bro. He's already up in heaven. He's with...
He's a Frankenstein.
Yeah. Not shitting on Christianity, alright? We're just having a bit of fun. But have you ever, like, been to a Christmas pageant or show?
I don't think I have.
Like, did you ever have one of them at school?
Mm,
Like Christmas Spectacular or something? I don't know.
you might have.
I remember we used to have, so every second year we'd have a carols night at primary school and so one year we'd have a carols night down at the church. I went to a Catholic school, primary school, locally here. We'd have carols night the first year, and then the year after that we'd have like a little play. And I remember the first year that my brother and I moved down here, at our school we did the nativity, as it's called, the story of Jesus being born, and it was supposed to be like a real funny Australian version. So I remember my brother Sam, he dressed up in a flannelette wearing a Cobra hat at about age 10, and there was another girl who had a basketball off her shirt, and they were just like doing Aussie slang. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was so
Bit
strange.
cringeworthy.
Oh, it was strange. But yeah, that's my experience with like Christmas pageants and shit. Although I do remember one carols night we did Time of Your Life by Green Day. We sang that. Not even a carol. Because I think they let us pick the song. And we we'll do some Green Day on Christmas. You've got up on stage and done shit. I know,
Yes.
I've done a play as well.
I have gotten up on the stage and sang a few times,
Yeah.
back when I was at school. I sang Working in a Coal Mine, originally by Devo.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What did I do after that?
Yeah.
Then I did,
You dressed up as
I dressed up as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz and I sang Over the Rainbow. I only sang 2 verses and then, and
again,
2 girls,
Again, that's really gonna sound.
then right at the end, 2 girls dressed up as police officers came up on stage and said, "What is this, a drag race?" And they started dragging me off.
A drag. Well, yeah, different times back then.
And as I was being dragged off, I said in a very manly voice, "I'm not in Kansas anymore, boys."
That joke, I would have thought that joke won't fly these days. So, when were you in primary school or high school then?
Oh, I was back in 2013. I did that.
2013. Oh yeah, so just
Well,
out.
actually, no, it might have been 2012.
Yeah, so back in the primary or no, Joe, you would have just started secondary school. You would have.
Yeah.
Mm.
And on top of that, I also did Phil Collins' "In the Air Tonight."
I never saw any of these. I remember you came and you saw my Robin Hood play.
Yeah, which you seem to be pretty ashamed of.
Oh, I don't know. It's just I'm not ashamed of it. It's just embarrassing, you know. I'm a little boy. I'm being the sheriff of Nottingham. And it was like, yeah, it was written by one of our drama teachers, and there was some pretty bad jokes in there. Like I remember there was one time for some reason I had a mini me, so I got to be like Dr. Evil. That's probably the saving grace of my performance. I got to be like Dr. Evil. But yeah, so that went from our Christmas pageant to that. Let's see what other.
I'm glad we're making this a Christmas-themed podcast
Oh yeah.
to go with the Christmas.
Hopefully we can get it uploaded before Boxing Day, as it called. Oh, is it Boxing Day overseas?
I think
If you're listening,
I
leave
think
it down in the comments. And if you're from somewhere else, leave it down in the
I
comments.
think in the Northern Hemisphere, it'll be Christmas Day tomorrow.
Yeah, but do they call it Boxing Day? Like,
Oh,
you know how
no.
we call the day after Christmas Boxing Day?
I have no idea.
It feels like a very Australian thing. Boxing Day. Where are we? I am Andrew Bustamante. Probably said that wrong. A former covert CIA intelligence officer and founder of Everyday Espionage training platform. Ask me anything. We can definitely field some of these questions. We're qualified for this. Alright, that's a very long question. Are there really big secrets that you know that could land you / the country in terrible trouble if it came out to the public? Do you reckon he knows anything big? Because he's from the CIA. I've got the answer here, by the way. Good thing there's crickets. It's dead silent right now. Do you reckon he knows any state secrets? Yes or no?
Yes.
He does. He says, yes, and I wish I could forget them. So it's probably some Russian sleep experiment shit. Even though I don't think the Russian sleep... Is it real? That creepypasta?
No, it's made up.
Yeah, but still.
Most creepypastas are made up.
Yeah, the creepypasta is another name for urban legend, really.
Yeah. The modern day urban legends spread around the internet. The urban legends of the 21st century.
Yes, indeed.
What's your favourite creepypasta?
My favourite one? I don't know, I haven't read them in ages. It's been ages since I...
There's one called Normal Porn for Normal People.
I've heard that one. And that is a fucking...
It's pretty messed up, but it's really well written and...
Yeah, very well written. But fucked. Nonetheless.
And also very strange and spooky.
Yeah, it's bizarre. That's what it is. Yeah. For me, it's the fear of the unknown and just the plain bizarre that sort of scares the shit out of me.
Jeff the Killer is just silly.
Yeah, it's... got a real sort of fandom to it, which got weird.
It's not scary.
It got weird. That's what it was.
It's just not scary. It's a kid who snaps and gets beaten up by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
And the name, Jeff the Killer.
Jeff. It's like, could you be any less creative?
Like, I remember back in the day, like, we used to think, oh yeah, Jeff the Killer, let's fuck it off. But what the fuck? Jeff the Killer, I'm sorry if there's anybody who really reps it, but Jesus Christ. It's a bit boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Candle Cove, that's a good one. That's the one about the
fifth time.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, that's alright. That was amazing. 5.
It's laid out like a chat forum.
Yeah. Like
people talking about a show they remember watching when they were little kids.
That's cool. I like little creative sort of ones like that. Instead of just flat stories. Anyway, suppose that's it for us.
Yes.
For another week. Or another 5 months. For another 5 months. Nah, but
another decade.
Yeah, another decade.
We sort of come out of hibernation.
Yeah, we just crawl out of our little burrows and.
Like it's like an Alien where they're in those
Yeah, the pods.
Yeah.
we come out of our pods and start talking shit. And you would have thought after 5 months I would have watched enough movies and actually caught up shit to talk about. But evidently not.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Big shout out to Delicious Feet. Thanks again, man. You've been listening to the Hodwatt podcast. Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Catch you.
Bye.
There we go.